Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the Big Daddy, the flagship, top of the food chain. First M hybrid and the first pure M model after a very, very long time. You are watching KKC Automotive and this is the BMW XM. So what is Project Rockstar? The name XM, it was internally codenamed Rockstar. Quite simply, the reason is very evident. BMW saw this product as the Rockstar in its lineup because it's coming up from the M stable and a pure M model after 50 years. But BMW had other challenges which it had to give a comfortable ultra luxury M model in the form of an SUV. And probably another way to look at it is they wanted this to be the sales rockstar. The M1 was the first product from the BMW's M division, the motorsport division, which we are all aware about. But the XM nomenclature is also very easy to understand, that this is the first SUV from that same motorsport division, an individual standalone product after 50 years. So XM was definitely an evident name to put for this product. But let's understand what BMW had to go through. There's a bit of a story which I would like to share. And that story is about a car company called Citroën. They had a product by the name XM, which was their flagship back in the late 80s, and that product sold up to 2000s. So BMW had to take permission from Citroën to use the XM moniker for this special product launch. So they both these companies had a great amount of constructive dialogue to reach to a gentleman's agreement where BMW was allowed to use the moniker XM for this product. And in return, though it was not a one-side agreement, in return Citroën got to use the C5X name for its product, which got launched in 2021, I believe. And we are aware that the X with a numerical is associated with the Bavarian group. So this was the agreement where both the parties won and acted pretty gentlemanly. This is based on the updated version of the CLAR platform, which is the cluster architecture, the second generation cluster architecture. A lot of the large BMWs are based on this platform, like the X7 as well as the current generation 7 Series. So what this cluster architecture does for BMW's M division is added lightweightedness without compromise on structural integrity. However, another point is that interestingly, a pure M model doesn't get the carbon core technology, which has been so much talked about within the BMW stable. So I've had a few encounters with the XM. One at the service center when I had gone to get my F30 serviced. So there I saw a very early model. It was in for a PDI. That time I experienced, I was not allowed to take pictures. After that, at the Joytown event back in January this year, real liking developed for the XM. The third time was the time when I actually got to drive the XM. And that time it was at the Ambi Valley airstrip. We were driving In fact, dragging a couple of XMs. And that was the time when I got to understand the real power as well as the potential of this entire hybrid drivetrain. And the fourth time is this time when I am bringing this India exclusive review for all of you. Now, to be honest, the real world driving performance is ample and sufficient enough to keep the enthusiast happy as well as the real target customer, which may not be enthusiast, splurged in and very much content with their purchase. But this is just a shy under 500 horsepower, which is not a lot when it is about outright horsepower, because a regular X5M produces well over 600 horsepower. Though I am aware that the combined output is 653, making it the most powerful M car of all time, the most powerful BMW of all time. But somewhere I feel the V8 has been restricted to give less power, to make less power, and make way for the red label. 800 Newton meters of torque, so that number cannot be ignored. Surely this combined M hybrid drivetrain is genuinely making this SAV, that's what BMW call it, it's giving it proper legs. All this is possible with this M Steptronic gearbox, which has been tuned to adapt to both electric as well as the IC inputs, and it does a beautiful job. And I'm glad that the DCT is nowhere in the BMW lineup right now in these M cars, and that makes it these M cars more livable. There's an ambulance passing. So we were speaking about living. Yeah, so that makes it much more livable, at the same time less jerky, which is really good for drivability as well as the city conditions. The exhaust note, I don't know whether you can hear it or not. Oh, it is pretty unique, and there is definite those electric acoustics are being pumped in through the Powers and Wilkins speaker system, and surely it makes for a great audio experience. And I'm not complaining. V8 plus an electric assistance and this entire sound makes it extremely interesting in this super SUV space. So we are aware that this is the most powerful M car ever made by BMW. But another fact is that this is the most heaviest car BMW has ever made. So keeping that fact in mind, this is a good performer when it comes to the handling, and the dynamics of the chassis performance is genuinely good. Also, thanks to the M adaptive suspension, which genuinely does a good job, particularly making this car shift its balance towards the right quality when needed. Right now I am on sport, but as soon as I go into comfort chassis mode, it becomes a much comfortable cruiser. Also, we need to remember that we are running on a 22-inch wheel setup, and that is still not the largest rim size available for the XM. This is also available with a 23-inch rim, and those are the gold rims. Importantly, the tires are non-run flat. Just like any M car, these are on tubeless, so that is something which is also helping with that ride quality bit. Overall, I would like to say that the dynamism of this chassis performance, this updated CLAR platform, the M adapted suspension, active steering, and all the other systems are working pretty much in great harmony to provide that perfect balance, what you would expect from a BMW, a special BMW made by the M division after 50 years. So before we speak about the car's interiors, I would like to focus on the exteriors, because this car has really a very dynamic and radically different styling. Unfortunately, it has been not taken well in the overall media, and the car has been bashed about the design language adopted by BMW designers. I personally love how the car looks in flesh, right from the long bonnet, the old school two-box design, and the way it smoothly incorporates a stooping roofline at the rear. The muscularity continues at the rear, with references to the M1 by incorporating double BMW logos at the top. Coming to the interiors, the way BMW has been able to distinguish the material mix never seen before in other BMWs incorporated into the XM is phenomenal. I'm aware that the technology is similar. This is the iDrive 8 which we are aware about, and it is available in most other products right now in the BMW stable. Whatever people's opinion would be on the exterior, I'm sure most people would agree that BMW have done a great job when it comes to the interior package of the XM. The wow factor completely elevates when you're at the rear seat. These seats are genuinely the most comfortable seats I have been in any BMW SUV. Surely the space is also more than the X7, and though I'm aware it's not a 7-seater, but it doesn't need to be. And premiumness, as well as the that it is more than premium, it is towards that exotic fine line. My favorite bit at the rear is the view you get up front with this fancy roof liner, which is sort of a design highlight in the interior, because BMW have a special terminology for this, but this is genuinely making me feel that this is a product which Motorsport division would make and touch upon the luxury side of things as well as touch upon the exotic side of things to provide an interior matching the gravitas of the Lamborghinis and the Aston Martins out there. So to conclude things, I would like to speak about the super SUV space which this car belongs to. This space, this segment is hotter than before, and we have products from Aston Martin to Lamborghini. Ferrari also has a product which they don't want to term it as an SUV, but it is one. And now the XM, it is more than that. It is a product from the Motorsport division, a standalone product launched after 50 years on the 50th anniversary of the M brand. After experiencing it more than 3-4 times, I would say the overall packaging and everything is absolutely wonderful. So if you are looking out for the biggest, the brawniest and the most special BMW SUV, this is the one to go for. And on that note, thank you for watching.